I wasn't sure if 48 teams was going to be a little diluted. And there were some results in the first group stages that suggested that some teams were out of their depth at this level. However, it's called the World Cup. And the World Cup starts with the pre-qualifiers that we had in India a few years back. So everyone is involved in the World Cup at one level or another. Getting to the World Cup should be earned. And I think 48 teams and this World Cup it's been a good World Cup, very entertaining. But I don't know how 64 teams is going to look. Are we going to have 4 countries hosting the World Cup to accommodate the other 24 teams? That would be 12 teams, or whatever it is. How is that going to work, and logistically? So I don't know, and I'm also a little bit unhappy with this hydration breaks. Not needed if it's not boiling hot. Just stopping the game, allowing teams to reconfigure their alignments, if you like. I don't like that. It's only necessary when it's extremely hot and humid, and the players need the water break. And I think if you ask the players themselves, most of them would say the same thing. Not needed. Okay, so I will tell you something. When I came to India the second time, and Mr. Patel said to me, "Coach, how do we go to the World Cup?" And I said, "Sir, we are not dominating the SAF region. How are we going to qualify for the World Cup? We haven't been to the Asian Cup on merit for a very long time. How are we going to qualify for the World Cup?" So, if we are not dominating our region is CECAFA. We have Tanzania, we have Uganda, we have several other teams in our region. We need to dominate that. If we dominate that, then we have a chance to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, which is the Euros or the Asian Cup equivalent. In India, we did that in 2019. And we did that on merit. We went through the pre-qualifiers. We went to the group stages. We were put through for the group stages to the second group stages. And we won the group and qualified on merit. Won our first game, and we had a fantastic 3 games. We were, I think, 1 penalty away from qualifying for the last 16. So it's about development, but it's not about charity. I think you're going to put teams in the World Cup that are nowhere near the level that they should be. And I think, as you said earlier, it would dilute the level and the interest of the public, in my opinion. I think it's very disappointing that I left India. We were 95, 96 in the FIFA rankings in 2019. And now we're 130, 140. So it's very disappointing. Obviously, the decline has been there, but there's a lot of things wrong. For me, you can't allow senior players to decide what happens in the national team. That has been happening since I've left. That's been happening. You have to have a proper league. You have to have promotion relegation. We haven't had that for some time. There needs to be youth development. We need to have Indian coaches developing. I was shortlisted for the Indian job this time. They put Khalid Jamil, and okay, fair enough. But Khalid Jamil has 0 experience at international football. Now, if you are wanting an Indian coach, then put the Indian coach in a position where he can develop. Put him at under 23s, put him at under 20, and then make him the Indian national team coach. You can't put somebody who has no experience at all just because you want an Indian coach. And that's exactly what happened. Also, the AIFF, I don't know all the ins and outs, but you have an agreement with ISL that has ended, but you should have done a lot more to continue that relationship, to make things right. I mean, at the moment, as you say, Indian football is in free fall. Qualifying for the World Cup, India at this point, I think is not on the cards. So you've got to qualify for the Asian Cup on a regular basis. You've got to dominate the SAF region on a regular basis. If you're not doing those two things, you're not going to the World Cup. And even if they put 100 teams, very disappointing for me. Obviously, I spent 7 years as national team coach. I think the first time with Baichung Bhutia, Joe Paul Anchary, and many other players, we gave a very good account of ourselves. And obviously, from 2015 to 2019, we recorded, I think, the highest FIFA ranking since the FIFA rankings came out was 95 for everybody. I could have been the Indian coach for the third time, but I'm not, and that's fine. I'm here in Rwanda. We have a decent team. We won the first 2 games that we played here in the FIFA series. We won the FIFA series, and now we have African Cup qualifiers coming up in September. When you give 7 years of your life to the national team, I have a personal interest, of course. It has absolutely no relation to where we are playing. You are not going to play New Zealand in the Asian Cup or in the SAF or in the qualifiers. So why are you playing a team that has no bearing on what you are doing? The experience is to go and play Saudi, go and play UAE, go and play China, go and play those teams, Japan. If you want to get experience against good sides, but good sides that you may face in the future. You're not going to face New Zealand in any of the local tournaments that we play in Asia. So honestly, yeah, it's great. We're going to go to New Zealand, and it doesn't make sense to me.